The matrix, we were asked to put together the matrix. Now remember, the matrix is different than the actual criteria for consideration. There are two separate documents. The criteria for consideration is the one that was reviewed more heavily than the matrix. This is the criteria for consideration. Okay? So if you've seen this, it states that the state of California is experiencing a severe budget crisis, As a consequence, ICA must address the prospect of eliminating one or more NCAA Division I teams. Fred Wood, the Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs, has directed the ICA Senior Management Group to formulate a list of criteria to use in assessing each team and then recommending changes to the ICA program. In addition, Fred Wood has appointed an ICA work team to advise the ICA Senior Management Team on its budget recommendations. The ICA work team has reviewed and endorsed the following list of criteria. The charges for the work team were to review the documents that were brought forward by the ICA senior management. It was not for the work team to actually get elbow deep into dissecting every single component of what we had to deal with. Because we work with the situations day in and day out, we have a better understanding of what goes on with it. So our task was to bring forward the information for review by the work team. And again, the criteria for consideration was weighted. The matrix was just thrown together and then put to the side and then not brought forward again until the end. That was not the basis of decisions. If it were, there would have been a lot more unfortunate programs discontinued. The top two criteria that we focused on, savings to stabilize a long-term ICA budget and Title IX compliance. Those were the two major factors that had to be considered. Football was also reviewed because that's always a sport program that comes forward. Well, what about football? If you discontinue football, then you can save everyone else. Football on this campus is a significant revenue source for us. Okay? It helps to fund. You can laugh, you can chuckle, but you have to understand, we are not a BCS football program. We do not have 85 full ride scholarships. We do not have coaches that are making 150, that's low, $500,000 to $4 million. Our head coach is a supervisor of physical education, okay? He is on the academic track. Our assistant coaches are very, very minimally paid relative to what their responsibilities are. So, if you take football out of the mix, you take away all the other entities that they bring along with it, we unfortunately are less than 23 sport programs. That's the reality of it, unfortunately.
I'm sorry, we actually have 2 minutes left, and I was wondering if you'd like to accept student questions now. Thank you.
Just one question. One, thank you so much for coming. But you said that we've been in a fiscal crisis now for 3 years, and that we've had to make cuts for 3 years, and that the administration and students and coaches have all taken cuts.
Yes.
And that we continue to add sports to go with the core principles and core models. But why do we continue to add a 27th sport when we had to then eliminate 4? If we were going with the core principles, why did we not save that sport, which couldn't be cut anyways, because you can't cut a sport that has just been...
Well, you can't. But we were prompted, continuation of expansion, we had exhausted the time frame that they say, if you are prompt to compliant, the experts say you need to add a sport every 2 to 4 years. And so our window of opportunity before we would have been challenged was up. And so that's why we added this sport. Did we know that we were going to get hit $2.2 million? No idea. And those were all, as you know, state funds that were lecturer for our teachers who teach classes. That's where that money was cut from.
Okay, and thank you. We also...
Hi, thank you. I wanted to know, if all the cuts were justified and correct, then why wasn't the whole process transparent? If there was nothing to hide, why can't the process be revealed to the people that it affected the most?
I guess my question to you is transparent to whom?
To the student athletes.
There was a work team that was put together to review. I don't know of any situation like this that's opened up to the whole general population to review. You get that many individuals to review, now they're going to point at each other to focus on, well, why not them, why us? There was a situation that was at hand that created a financial crisis. So you had to have individuals in the room who were experienced in working with the nuances that went along with the whole process.
Why is the administration not complying with the Open Information Act and releasing the documents?
Oh, we're complying as quickly as we can. We've got right now legal counsel and computer experts working on search terms so that they can check all the computers that are out there, not just 1 or 2 computers. I mean, so you're asking for a lengthy process for it to take place. And so we're waiting for the search terms so that we can input those and pull out all the information.
It's a delay tactic.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
It's a delay tactic.
It's for what? There's nothing to hide. It's all there. There's no delay tactic.
Show it.
We have to know what you're searching for. We have to search for it. Okay, remember, this is... Oh,
Can you explain your $30,000 raise that you received?
Let's see, I took a pay cut. I did not receive a raise. So the information that has been out there on me is incorrect.
Thank you. I appreciate your time. All right. Then I'd like to ask Kim Elsbach, who's our faculty athletic rep, to come up and speak about her involvement.
Thanks, Zach. Welcome. Nice to see you all. I'm Kim Elsbach. I'm a professor in the Graduate School of Management next door. I'm also the faculty athletic representative for the campus. A lot of people didn't know what that position was or that it existed before this process started. So if there is a silver lining, I think we're all becoming more educated in our governance. I just want to take 1 second before I start to answer questions to just tell you who I am and what I do. Every NCAA institution